How long you been sick, Alisa?
We're recording.
Today is
We're
Thursday.
recording.
Sunday morning, I started off with
All right. Welcome to another one of our wonderful fireside chats. I am Dr. Monica Bickerstaff Riley, and I am the president of Women of Global Change Las Vegas chapter. My guest this evening is amazing. And so I am going to encourage all of you to grab your journals so that you can take notes, get your water so that you can stay hydrated, because you are not going to want to miss a word of what Zsuzsanna Reinhard has to share with us. And before I start to introduce Susanna, I just want to let everyone know that April is Stress Awareness Month, and we have had quite a bit of stress this month. So as we move into and as we transfer our energy into the month of May, we are going to set the intention to transfer energy at a very high vibrational level. And so that it covers all of our sisterhood, all of you who are joining us from our chapters in, for example, the continent of Africa. So that includes Zambia, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. If you're joining us from Malaysia or Kuala Lumpur or China, Egypt, I welcome you. We welcome you from the Philippines. We embrace you from our new chapter in Seattle, Washington, here in the United States. And of course, the district, the DMV, Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and Atlanta. We now have 5 presidents in Atlanta, 5 chapters in Atlanta. So we are growing by leaps and bounds. If you are interested in becoming a member of Las Vegas chapter Women of Global Change, please go to www.womenofglobalchange.com. And if you have any questions, please drop your questions in the chat. And without further ado, let's settle the space as we always do with an amazing inhale. Inhale positive energy, and then exhale everything on the top of your mind that is cluttering your mental space right now. So we're going to place left hand over the heart, right hand over our left, and with our shoulders back. A lot of tension we hold in our shoulders. Shoulders is the area where, if we're feeling burdened, and I don't mean burdened by physically burdened, but if we're feeling like there's something that's bothering us, something in our lives that we haven't said or expressed to someone, or in reverse, and or that we have not handled in our business, there might be someone who's nitpicking at us, or we feel that we've come to an impasse as far as communication, but we haven't handled it. We haven't had that one-on-one with that person. A lot of that energy is housed in our shoulders. So just the simple rolling the shoulders back, and now covering the heart center. We always come back to the heart to protect our heart. And we're going to close our eyes. We're going to inhale through the nose, hold for 4, and exhale. So just exhale all of the air out of your body, and then through big belly breath, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. And again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. And so that's a good way to kind of clear the mind, get a few neck rolls in to open up the throat chakra area. This is the area that's so important. We want to make sure that when we are communicating clearly. We are speaking our truth. We are speaking our speech. And it's also, neck rolls are very, very good for thyroid, to give the thyroid a little bit of exercise. So with that, I am so happy to have our guest today. I remember Susanna and I met probably 4 or 5 years ago now, maybe 4 years ago. But what brought us together was our love for hummingbirds. And I won't speak on what hummingbirds symbolize. Susanna will share that with us. But I just want to introduce Zsuzsanna Reinhard, our guest for our fireside chat. Zen out, bring positive energy into your home. Zsuzsanna Reinhard was born in Hungary. She started to travel the world at age 18 and lived in the south of France, Spain, Miami, and now in Las Vegas. During her travels, she learned a lot about other cultures, history, and different ways of living and values in life. She brought that knowledge into her healing work, practicing Qigong healing, Reiki energy healing, and teaching ancient Asian food healing methods. Traveling also had her connect the dots with international real estate sales, and she got her real estate license in 2006. Her specialty is working with investors locally, nationally, and globally. She speaks Hungarian, English, a little bit of Italian, and French. Las Vegas has offered Susanna a great opportunity to earn her diploma in hotel operations, with an emphasis on concierge, hotel operation, housekeeping, and human resources. Her passion is helping people, saving animals, and healing the world one person at a time. Her future goal is to open a healing center, hopefully in multiple locations around the world. We welcome this evening Zsuzsanna Reinhard.
Thank you. Thank you. It's such an honor and just a recognition that you invited me to be here. A lot of people come to my house and they just don't want to leave, like and check.
Exactly. And I'm thinking that now, and especially as we as women, because we carry so much on our shoulders, we're juggling so many hats, and now with the energy being so stagnant in this world, and even though the shift is happening, a lot of times we don't always wake up in the positive mind space, myself included. And so, how do we bring that positive vibration, that positive energy into our living space so that then we can vibrate it to others that we come in contact with? I feel like many of us might be experiencing energy blocks because we're not interacting physically with each other, many of us, like we used to. So, Susanna, share with us, please, what you feel the importance of energy is.
Well, first of all, don't take life too serious. It's very short and just do whatever you want, right? And even if you go to work, 9-to-5 job, go to that you chose that, right? Nobody put a gun to your head to go and do it, right? You can always change if you're not happy. So it's just how you get up in the morning. And a lot of people do morning routine or midnight routine before you go to bed. So you can create a little bit of routine if that's what you need. We all different, right? So some people need every day a meditation. Personally, I'm very calm as it is. If I meditate, my mind is just going, right? Inside I'm a fire element. But it's just what's around you. And I think that's the most important of what you like, who you are, right? And surround yourself with that in your home. Like your bedroom, when you wake up, what do you see first? Are you happy to see that? Or if you go to your kitchen and you make your coffee, is that a messy, or is it something, oh, I'm going to have my coffee, I'm going to have my place to sit, to drink that, do I enjoy, or I'm just on a rush? So it's all depend on your daily routine, on what do you do and how do you start your day. And it's just that one decision in the morning, how I'm going to have my day. Is it going to be happy or is it going to be grumpy? Then that's how it's going to go, right? If you eat sugar in the morning, you're going to crave sugar in the afternoon. If you drink coffee, that's a different story. Probably going to have that later on too.
Right. Yeah.
What I'm saying, how you get up is what you're going to go through the whole day.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like for many of us who have morning routines or morning rituals in place, it's so important to maintain those rituals. Take that 15 to 20 minutes as you start your day, even before you get out of bed, because that literally is going to set the tone. As you said, how you wake up, how you begin your day is going to set the tone for the rest of the day. It's interesting. I begin my days with meditation, with 20 minutes of meditation, because that really just grounds me. You know, I can do my gratitude mantra and just kind of get centered and grounded before I even go downstairs to do the coffee. Because once I take that first sip of coffee, it is what it is. All the doors, the gates are open.
Don't forget, a lot of people don't know how to meditate, or they can't slow down enough to focus on themselves, right? And I always say, then if sitting down in one place, do this, not for you, then put on the music or whatever makes you calm, right? And if you don't drink coffee, maybe go out in your backyard or do something that makes you calm, and that be your meditation. But also, if you create a little room for that, like I can't lay down in my bed in the morning, right, and just think. I have to like go somewhere and like, oh, that's my space for that. So create something like that if that helps you. So that's what I'm saying. We're all different of how we do things and what we need for that. Some people need to read a book. Some people need to write a journal every morning and every night before you go to bed, or do affirmation in front of the mirror. Or maybe you have a big thing in your office and you need to focus on your job. Then maybe that's what, relaxes.
Yeah.
Know that you're going in. So it doesn't have to be, I'm gonna lay down and like do this, because not everybody know how to do that. Or it is the way, because that's when you really get your answers for deep questions, right? Not like how I'm gonna be that day, because that's your mindset. But if you're really looking for questions and answers, then that's the way to do the real meditation.
Absolutely. And as you said, everybody meditates differently. And from experience, we have to be gentle with ourselves. And we have to meet ourselves each day where we are. This morning I awakened, I was bright and lovely, but yesterday I wasn't. So we have to be more gentle with ourselves. And every day is like a new chapter, right?
It's
Yeah.
you just pick up that it's another day, right? You just go and be happy. Like, why do you have to even think about bad things? Just
Yeah.
do your thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are a few tips that you can start us off with as far as decluttering our space? Now is the time to declutter the clutter. And I know for me, my main project right now is our walk-in closet off of the bedroom. And it's supposed to be a walk-in closet, but right now it stops at walk. because we can't get in. So what 3 tips would you offer as far as starting to getting us motivated to even clear the energy in our home?
Well, first of all, start small, right? You can start with a kitchen drawer or your nightstand table at your bedroom. So you can start small, and then you like, I like this. This is clean. Keep it that way. Once you do it, keep it that way. At least try for a little bit. And then, they say your personal environment shows your mental environment, right? So decluttering, not just clothing, like to throw out your clothes that you don't use. It's everything else, right? And I think the biggest mistake people do, that you don't use the rooms in the house what it's meant for. So don't put anything family in the bedroom when it's meant to be sleeping or intimate, right? Do that, keep that way. So take those out. If you let's say you're single and you want to have a partner, look around. Do you have a space for a partner? Do you show the universe that you are ready for a partner, right? It's the same thing in a closet. Do you have a little room for a man? Then make room. So make those signs. And same thing, your living room, be the living room. Don't put your computer in your bedroom, right? And create a space for your meditation. Or if you're creative, then have that room separate. So that's one big thing people mix together. Like they work in where you're supposed to sleep.
And I appreciate you saying start small, and I will do that. And that kind of, I feel relieved in some way, because I keep looking at that closet, and for the life of me, I don't know why I haven't shut the door, but the door is open. So, I'm looking at it, and every morning I wake up calm, cool, and collected, and I look across the room and see the closet, and then it's like, dang, I still haven't gotten to it. But it's helpful that you said to start small, and I will. And I will email you tomorrow, because tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up, and after my meditation, I'm going to reach over to my nightstand and declutter a drawer, because that drawer needs help as well. So I appreciate that. And as we are kind of moving through, and as you said, clearing and also making space to receive what we want to bring into our space, what kind of colors might we use to attract whatever it is we want?
Well, if you want a man, then they say in Feng Shui, right? You're familiar with that?
Yes.
So they're using all kind of how you put your furniture and color. So use like peach color in your bedroom. If you want to attract fortune, you can use green. If you want to use, not in the bedroom, but in the living room. If you want to use like red to make something happen, you want to get fired, then you use red, right? It's also questionable which country you are, right? Because every color means different. In China, red means luck and money. Yellow means money, and fortune. So it's dependent on which country you are here.
Yes.
Using all that together. But yeah, green is very natural, and yellowish is mostly what people use, like a light yellow, right? Not the sunshine yellow. Those for to calm the energy in the house. I know the green is not so popular. And also yellow, I don't know how much you guys know about chakras, right? Each point in the body. So yellow is like down below here.
Yep, solar plexus.
Solar plexus. And so that's for emotions. Then how you hold into your emotions, and that will help you release those, whatever you have holding in there, right? When we talked earlier on a throat, that she has the issue because something is going on in your throat chakra. So just think about what happened to you that day. Why am I hurting in my head? Why am I not, my heart is in pain? So something happened that day, and each chakra has that color. Then you can wear that color, eat that color.
Yeah, so for the throat chakra, we might want to bring in blue. So maybe a blue scarf, a light blue scarf, or carry something blue as you're going throughout your day. Uh, but blue is the color to and turquoise, if you have any turquoise stones, gemstones, or jewelry, place that turquoise choker or necklace right on your throat chakra. That will help you to release whatever is blocking in your throat. And of course,
Blueberry,
connected here.
bluish.
Yeah, blueberries. Eat blueberries.
Actually, blueberry and strawberry is the two that if you eat it all, then you'll be all, nice skin. Just
Yes.
throwing
Yes.
it.
So as we talk about chromotherapy, which is the colors, and one interesting fact here in this country, here in the United States, when we look at our popular fast food brands, and I don't have to name them, you know who they are, the Golden Arches, the Crown, and Missy with the red pigtails, three very popular ones. You'll notice that all of them in their chroma, in their color scheme, have the same blue, the same red, and the same golden yellow color. Those colors have been proven, they've been tested to attract people to eat. So when you see those colors combined, it stirs up the juices, it's the mental. You see it and it's like, oh, I'm hungry. And then the next thing you know, although I do not advocate fast food, but I'm just explaining some of the principles behind using colors to attract and to powerfully make a statement. Also in your business, in your brand, it's very important to select which colors you want to use for your brand as you're creating your logo, as you're creating your containers, bottles, and so forth. Because the colors that you select will attract the customer, the client um, that you intend, or that you may not want. But so it's very important to know about colors. So as we're talking colors too, I would think that as we are exploring ways to elevate our space, we want to talk about textiles, materials. What kinds of textiles are used to create positive energy?
Well, definitely anything soft. We women like that. We like to cuddle. You can have that all around. You can have anything that makes you there you are. I was just gonna say blanket
Yeah,
and pillows.
this is everywhere in the house I move. This comes with me.
Well, I have two soft dogs, so that's what I hug. Those are my feet warmers. But otherwise, it's, to me, anything soft or anything that I touch, I use it for grounding, right? Because grounding is not just you go and walk on the grass, right? That's what people know, like go out bare feet, walk on the grass. You can ground yourself by just touching your fluffy pillow. Just then you feel it, right? That you feel something, or just the water, just touch the water, anything like that that you feel, it will ground you, right? You just have to set the intention. So the blanket probably gives you that feeling, that because you're holding, and also if your love language is touching, then you're gonna like that, right? Or the language is like how we communicate. Not everybody is a touching or hugging person, so just surround yourself with things you love. That's the easiest way. Obviously, you're not gonna have a hard ball. I mean, I don't know. I have my Krista to hug here, which is pretty hard.
Yeah, I have this one myself, and a lot of times when I'm doing workshops through this Zoom virtual space, or if I know that I'm going to be in a meeting that might be difficult for me to maintain my cool, I go to this circle, I go to this crystal, and I keep it in this hand so that I can massage it as the meeting is, taking place, so that I will maintain my cool.
Well, so far I've been holding the good one, and
Yes,
not the one needs to soak in the negativity.
yes. Is that tourmaline?
So I have, this is black lava. It's just called,
Oh, that's gorgeous.
it's black lava, and this is a selenite ball.
Yes.
So I usually have these two because yin and yang, black and white, right? Good and bad. And this takes in all the negative energy, and this one turns it into good one. So I usually have these if I have any issue. Like about a month ago, I came back from a country and I felt so drowned, and I was like holding these two and kind of steering that energy to this one. And I'm like, okay, taking it out, and everything was gone after that. So you just set your intention. Crystals is depend on the day, right?
Yes.
Because I use,
Exactly.
so it's dependent on what you're trying to accomplish. And I do a lot of crystal grids. I love crystal grids. There's a lot to know about crystals. I probably don't know half of them. Like you can see the trees behind me. I use those for different reasons, right? I used to do like by chakras, and this is for that, and this is for that, and it's not. I had to realize people come and like, oh, I want that, and I always ask like, what make you chose that, right?
Yes.
That's what was calling them that day, or whoever they were buying it for needs that without them knowing it. And that's why I love crystals and the energy that you unconsciously being drawn to what you need that day. And if you notice yourself eating a lot of C vitamin that day, like fruits or vegetables, then obviously your body needs that and you don't even know it. You just do it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love your trees. Can you please share with us your beautiful Reiki designs that you create, how we would use them, where we can buy them? Just, I want to know everything because, okay, here's the question that everyone wants to know, but they're too classy to ask. I'll ask it. Did you make everything behind you?
I'm a little OCD, so
Oh my goodness.
that's why
Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
I do. It's except the ones that things hanging. Obviously, I don't, or any charms. But I have the ring. I have the wires. I put it on. I make the tree, and I put the stones on it one by one. They come in like a long string, so I took it off, and I just put it on the wire, and I make it match until you can see the wire. So they're all nice. Yeah.
So do you have one now that you can kind of show to us close up so we can see? They're absolutely beautiful.
Well, this is one of my favorite, and amethyst. I don't know if you guys know about. Is can you see?
Yes.
So this is the crystals is amethyst, and again a peacock is depend which country you are means luck or not.
Hold it up a little higher so that we can see the intricacy of the design.
Sorry, all these lights around me. Can you see?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And how
Beautiful.
it started is when I was practicing Reiki, and I'm usually placed chakras, crystals on the chakras if something going on with that person, and I usually give that crystal to the person to take it home and meditate with. And I never seen that crystal again, and I'm like, maybe I need to find a different way to, how I'm gonna make this, because I'm gonna run out of crystals, which is fine. And crystals go wherever they want to go, right?
Yes.
Sometimes I don't find them, and like, oh, there you are. So it's interesting. But so that's why I started to like, how I'm gonna incorporate the crystal and the energy. And there was this online class, like how to make a tree of life. Sign me on. And that's how I do things. I just follow whatever comes in my way. Like I say it and it's there. So you have to pay attention to those signs, right? Those if you don't, then you're gonna probably miss your path, or maybe you go back to it later. But learn to find those little signals and signs that the universe sends you. Like, oh, I was just talking about that. Sign me on. That's how I do everything in life. And so that's what happened to this, and I just created that, and now I can just do whatever I feel like, right? I usually still have an intention every time I do a tree, with the intention of that healing, and everything I touch, I hold it between my hands and infuse it with Reiki. So when I send it out, like amethyst, especially for, I gave somebody who were alcoholic, and he every morning he goes and touches it in the morning, and since then he hasn't had a drink. So it's what you do with the knowledge, right? I can only give it to you, right? So that's how I do the trees, and I get like 300 designs, so it's gonna take a while to look at all. But mostly, I have an Etsy store. I used to go like little craft shows in town, and sometimes I travel to Utah for crystal shows, and just here and there, just for my own amusement and meet nice people who want to learn about crystals. But right now it's because COVID. Mostly everything on Etsy, and it's got touched by Reiki. So you can check, and you can always email me if you want something special. I like that to create.
And tell us, so like, tell us where we can find you.
Well, for the trees or
for the trees.
Okay, so the Tree of Life is the store. It's called Touched by Reiki.
Okay, Touched by Reiki.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I have a website, but not everything uploaded. And Facebook page I have same names. It's just not everything uploaded. Etsy kind of easier to just do it, and they're marketing it for you. And I can just focus on making it. Not, we all good at something, right? I'm good at creating, and
look, we're going to get you a business manager because what you're hanging on your wall, I feel it brings joy, and whatever intention you set with your creation. And I know this too, because whenever I'm blending a new fragrance, I set with intention. And just the energy behind you is amazing. And I feel like if everyone had a tree of life, our lives might, run a little smoother with a little more joy to our lives. And so let's just talk a little bit about Reiki healing. It's an ancient healing modality. And those of us who are present right now, we have heard of Reiki before. But as we have sisters from all over the world tuning in who might not know what Reiki is, can you share with us what the healing energy modality of Reiki is?
Sure. I started with Qigong, actually, which is Qigong. Qigong and Reiki is basically the same. One is Chinese method, Reiki is Japanese method, right? The Qi and the Reiki is the same word, I mean life force. It's just in a different language, right? So both of them, and at the end of every energy work is coming from the same source. So you just put a name to it so people can place it somewhere. That's all, right? To me, Qigong was more like to heal your organs, like when you do the movements. Qigong is almost like Tai Chi. Most people know Tai Chi. It's just slower. So you actually collect the energy, and then you just kind of go through your whole body. Reiki is more like you get attuned, and then it comes through me, and then I can just project it onto you. And both of them could be distant, both of them could be one-on-one person and without touching. So it's the same source of energy, right? And we are usually connecting to the chakra points in the body, and the 7 main, what we have more above and below, but the most known are the 7. And we just kind of scan and see if anything out of balance, and trying to focus on fixing that. And all these could be not just physical, could be emotional or spiritual, or something from your past life still hanging there, or something bothering you, right? I can send Reiki to a situation, like let's say you want to go to work, have an interview, you're nervous, we can send Reiki to that. So it's not always, I know it sounds strange, right? But at least you guys know about it. But somebody who doesn't, first I was like, yeah, right. My mom was the most skeptical until I proved her wrong.
Yes.
Now she's like, oh, my shoulder hurts, help me, right? So you just have to experience, to be open to it. And I didn't even know the order of the chakras when I started. I didn't know what color comes, right? So we have to start somewhere. And now, of course, I do, and I get chakra tree of lives as well. And just that's it, learn, right? Be open to it. And everybody has actually this Reiki. It just depends on how much you practice. And now I'm a master, actually a holy fire master. It's a little bit of added energy to it, a little more hot heat there. But when I started first, I didn't feel it that much, right? So you have to practice. There's a way of learning, and it takes time, how long you have to be there to practice every day. If you don't, then you have to start all over again until you have that. And so just practice, that's all. We all have it. And many people ask me if I can attune them, and I can, because now I'm a teacher, master, and that's it. I wish more people would do that.
So yeah, let me ask this, because you know, we're talking about bringing positive energy into our home space, and sometimes to bring positive energy into our home space, we have to kick negative people out, right? So let's say we're going through, again, I'm always very open and transparent, much to my mother's dismay, but I'm going to use myself again as an example. When I was divorced, after I got him out of my home space, I smudged, you know, the sage, Palo Santo, dragon's blood. I was bringing everything in. But now I'm thinking, and this has been so long now, over a decade. It's not even, the energy has shifted so many times. It's not even an issue. But let's say, could we actually call on you for a consult, or if we're pushing the negative people out, the toxic relationships out of that space, let's say our living room space, you know, that person's gone, boom. Now we want to bring in, you know, first of all, we want to nest in our own positive energy, be grounded. I guess I'm asking, do you come into space, or would you come into our space to perform Reiki, or how could we shift energy using Reiki?
Well, I would love to travel to Kenya.
Yeah, right?
To do that. But the good thing, again, that we can do it in distance. And I did that, people in Peru, back in Hungary, so all over the world. And it's pretty interesting, actually. That I didn't believe it first, that it helps. But when you're home, you can do your own. If you feel like there's a stagnated energy in your home, it could be anything, your ex, or just something you picked up in a bar or in a concert, right? Sometimes you go home and you feel like, what is this? Like, why am I feeling down? And it could be just some little small entity just attached to you. And to me, my house, I have a little protection bubble around me, which I created. And you can do that too. You just can maybe sit for a few minutes and just think of like 4 corners in your house, and just mentally, you know, put a little white light and make a little bubble around you, and you in the middle, so connect those with you, right? Do you understand? So just create a little bubble above you and around you, and that's how I walk everywhere I go. So right now, nobody really can hurt me or make me upset, or when you drive and people honk at you or cut, like, it's not gonna mess my day up, right? Whatever, it's your thing. But, and also don't forget, like your ex, right? Or anybody around you that you don't agree, by your mother, whoever. We all come from somewhere, a baggage. And how much do you really know your mother or parents or whoever around you, right? Because we all come from somewhere. We might be related by blood, but that's just one thing, right? We all, I think Chinese said we have like 10,000 past life.
Yeah.
So who knows what in from before and where you're gonna end. And I want to say I want to end it this lifetime. I think I had enough. but so don't forget, right? Before you kick somebody out of your circle, just think like, okay, why is he or she behaving that way, right? Why? What happened to her? Like, try to see if you can work it out first. And when I get to Reiki first, I wanted to heal the whole world. I'm like, oh, I recognize that. And I had to learn not everybody wants to heal. Not everybody is ready to heal. So all you can do is just give them some words that they hear that day and never know when that's going to click. Oh, I remember you said that. And that's changed their whole life. So you never know. So just keep saying positive things. And I'm not saying always be positive, because you need to learn the negative as well, right? It's yin and yang. It can be always positive, and there's no way it's that way anyway. But so just see the other person. I used to look at a person in like a DMV or something, like, oh my God, she looked like, I don't want to say the word. And I don't do that anymore, because I'm looking at her like, wow, she looks sad. Like, and I go and say something nice, because you don't know what happened to that person. And that's how I look at everybody before I say anything mean or anything negative to that person, because it could happen to you too, right?
Yeah, we all have a story and we all have a backstory. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we came together, our story, we were brought together through the brilliant wonder of the hummingbird. How have you brought hummingbirds into your space?
Man, I don't know how I started, but I know I created at least 10 monsters now that have the hummingbird around them, seeing it from me. I think I have 16 feeders all around my house. And how did I start? I don't know. I think because it's not common in Hungary, and when I moved here, I saw that maybe, and how is that possible? And I want it. And so I learned how to attract them. And now I have other animals too. I got a Taurus, like I adopted a Taurus, and you just learn. And I have a little mockingbird coming as well every morning. He's like, give me food. So it's you learn. You just, if you enjoy it, you want it, learn how to take care of it. I'm actually a nationally recognized garden. I get a little plaque saying I have a wildlife preserve here for that reason. And hummingbird is just something I connect. Actually, hummingbird is a symbol for a
higher vibration.
So maybe that's why.
Yeah. Hummingbirds also, yeah, they're a symbol for the higher vibration, but hummingbirds are also the only bird that can fly forward and backwards. And if you study them, because I have a lot of hummingbirds that come to my backyard, they love, I have a vitex tree. They love my mock orange bush. They love my mimosa tree. I love having them. And I have in my kitchen, a beautiful panoramic window that looks out into my backyard. And literally, if I'm washing dishes at my sink or just, daydreaming or whatever I'm doing, looking out of that window, they will come up to the window and stop. And it's like this moment of amazing communication. As far as animal and bird symbolism, hummingbirds symbolize the enjoyment of life and the lightness of being. So when you see a hummingbird, if you see hummingbirds come to your space, come to your backyard, take care of them, because they are in your space to bring you joy, to lift your spirits, to bring you happiness. And if you study them, they're so little, but they're so powerful.
Yes, and make sure if you have a feeder, please do not do the red dye. They slowly kill them. So make your own. It's super simple. You just boil the water, 1 cup of sugar and 3 or 4 cups of water. That's it. cool it down, and just make sure you boil the water. And the sugar, just regular sugar, doesn't have to be organic. Actually, it's not good for them, just regular sugar. And it's super simple. And they know, they're very territorial. And when you take the food off, they like waiting there, like bring it back. So they come back every year. So I love them for sure.
Yeah, me too.
And not just hummingbirds, because maybe you have a connection to another animal in your backyard, right? It could be an ant. It could be anything like a little gecko or anything else. It doesn't have to be. So maybe go outside and just sit down a little bit and try to connect with that animal. Like, why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? Like, I'm sure sometimes you're like, oh, I keep seeing a crow everywhere. What's that mean? Right? So look it up. Like, if you don't know how to connect, at least try. At least
Yes.
try and see what's the message you get.
Yeah, because they're there for a reason. We have people who have joined us from the East Coast. We have West Coast represented, East Coast this evening. And so, the bird traffic is different, East Coast, West Coast, but the birds that come to your home, your backyard, are coming with a message or coming for a reason. So yeah, it's easy. Just look them up, learn what the meaning is and what they symbolize. And then that will help you a lot of times to bring things into perspective.
Right.
And some will continue to come year after year, while others are just coming for that moment to bring you that message. So, birds, they hold a lot of symbolism. Oh, okay. So a lot of women in the Las Vegas chapter are very, very successful real estate owners, dealing with properties. They may own multiple properties in multiple cities. I own multiple properties in multiple cities. But I want to speak to my sisters who are real estate company owners. I know you are a very successful real estate company owner. When you are going to a house showing, or if you have just completed a reconstruction project on a home that you're going to sell, what is the best way? Can you offer a tip or two to kind of shift the energy in the house that you're getting ready to show so that it will sell?
Well, I always say, sometimes out loud, but in my head, everybody out. That's how when I step in. And that means to the negative energy in that house, if I feel it, right? Sometimes I start to sweat or like, God, I have a lot to work here. But I usually start and step in with my bubble around me, and then step in and say, everybody out. This is our time now. We here, so that's one way to clean. And same thing when I come home. If I feel, if I, let's say a smudge or I have a gathering in my house, I usually leave a little window open to let that out, right? Because you bring in good, the bad has to go somewhere. So that same thing with that. If I usually at showing, I close the door because I don't want anybody come in, but I leave a little door or window somewhere else open, so we get the flow, right? But usually that's what it is. And if something gets personal or somebody who buying it and we keep going back, you can always put a little salt around the doors or windows, and then just take it off in like 2 days. So salt is kind of absorbing the negative energy. These are the most easiest way. If somebody wants me to cleanse the house, then I can take my drum and just drum around the windows or the door frame, go around the whole house. If it's really something bad, or if something happened in that house, suicide or somebody died, or like natural cause, so you can still feel that. These are the easiest I usually do. I don't always smudge because you don't want the smoke detector to go on.
Yeah, right.
Can do this, and I always have some crystals on me or with me, so I'm just with the intention I'm going in and say, everybody out. If you don't know where to go, then go to here, and maybe I have like a bracelet on that brings it in.
So that's so helpful. And I myself, being the aroma expert, I would like to offer a few aromas that tend to attract success and positivity, and kind of evoke positive memories in most people, and that is the apple and cinnamon. That kind of brings about the apple pie, apple and cinnamon. Cinnamon as an aromatherapy essential oil is also good for attracting prosperity. So cinnamon is great. Apple, cinnamon combined. I know sometimes people use candles. You might set up mini candles in the kitchen somewhere.
When in house, I use that scent to people coming in.
Yes. Pumpkin spice and vanilla. Pumpkin spice and vanilla specifically speak to men who are coming in buying a property. So either a single male or a male with his partner, his female partner, spouse, or two males coming in together. You want to be burning somewhere the combination, well, not the combination of vanilla and pumpkin spice, but pumpkin spice or vanilla, because that tends to push the male energy to action. Okay, so that, and then it's always great to have the aroma of maybe a chocolate and a leather combination. So you kind of get that chocolate chip cookie effect. But the chocolate and the leather, speaking aroma wise, that is to push people to act, to spend money specifically.
I might have on a few of those oils from you.
Yes, right, exactly. So that's very helpful. Um, let's see. Speaking of, there was something that you mentioned when we were talking about shifting the space in that home. And did I forget? I forgot.
In
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember the crystals. So which crystals would be the best crystals to bring into a home showing? And people are they're always intrigued with crystals. They don't necessarily know what they mean, but they're so beautiful. So which ones would you set out in which spaces?
definitely selenite or anything white. Selenite and clear quartz are the most cleanest crystals, right? Selenite actually neutralizes everything else. So I have this long selenite that I put crystals on sometimes. But the clear quartz is another favorite one because you can actually send your intention to it and it holds it. And then when it's gone, it will be gone. So those are very powerful if you wanna make something happen. The dark ones like black lava or anything dark color, obsidian, tourmaline, those are very favored ones. Those the one takes the negativity in. Like let's say you don't know how to project it, but then you want to protect yourself, then wear something black, black stone, black crystals, or anything black, but then it's gonna be stuck on you. So that's why usually I have black and white or dark and light. It doesn't always have to be white, right? Just something light. So we balance each other out. But these are two most people I would use if you want to protect yourself, and not just showing a house. It's just anywhere you go. Yeah.
So let me go now to see if we have any questions in the chat. I mean, we could talk for hours. Okay, I have a senior mom that is so negative. What advice do you have for me? My sister and I are her caretakers. And oh, by the way, I'm at her house now, so I can't ask the question verbally. Okay. So yes, this is important because as many of us are being, naturally progressed into the caretaker space of our parents or of grandparents. what would you suggest as far as helping with that issue?
Well, first, learn why is she that way? And I don't know if that person who has that question heard me earlier. How much do you really know your parents? Why is she the way she is? So learn the reason why she's that way. And then once you learn that, then you know how to talk to her. Maybe she's not. Maybe she don't want to hurt you saying something, but then waiting for you to do it for her. Like obviously we can't read minds, so I would just go and find out what is the cause of the reason she's behaving that way, and because it's her own journey, it's not yours. She's just somehow has to put it out on somebody, and you the closest one, right? But it doesn't mean it's against you. It's something going on with her that she hasn't dissolved yet or resolved yet, or something going on in her life that bothering her. I don't know, maybe if she don't have a husband anymore, or something happened. I don't know the story on the mother, but it's something with her. So it's not you. You just have to find out what's with her, and then you will see the shift. How if you talk to her like that, like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Let's work on it. That's one way to look at it.
Or also another way to look at it is, you know, we with the buzz phrase now that we've heard this whole last year is hurt people hurt people. Okay, yada, yada, yada. All right. So then maybe in a case like this, because I know that I had a very cranky Nana at one point, and you know, she was just cranky with everyone. So then maybe how do we protect ourselves from those barbs that come from that parent? You know, it's always a delicate walk with a parent, and then with a mother, the delicate balance, the tightrope walk, literally, in a relationship between a mother and daughter. And then when the roles are shifted, and we are in that caretaking position of being parent energy with the parent. So how then would we protect ourselves? Can you walk us through again how we would create that positive bubble around ourselves? Because sometimes you can't reach that person, and that's okay. But how do we protect ourselves, our own precious energy?
Okay, I see what you're asking. Definitely start with yourself first, right? To calm down and know it's not you. That's where you start. Because if you're gonna be like offended whatever she does, then it's gonna affect you negative way. And just think that it's not you, it's her journey. Everybody has their own journey, right? So start there. And then you can just sit somewhere quiet at your home when she's not there, and just think of like, or even at her house, she can do that. Like picture 4 corners around the house, each corner of the house, east, south, northwest, or whatever way you want it. And just maybe you can put even a crystal in each corner, like a selenite or any of those white when I told you the clear quartz. And then so just focus on that and send the energy to those 4 crystals, or just think of that 4 points, and then sit in the middle mentally, or if you can physically, in those points, and just grind yourself, right? Send the energy back to the earth and come back again. So just the energy goes through you, that it's only you, right? And it kind of like you're protecting your aura, like the whole aura around you. And then once you reach that whole white light goes through you, then you can connect to each of the 4 corners, and then just say, okay, I don't know how spiritual you are, so if you can call your guides, you can tell them, help me to protect me, put this bubble around me, and only good things can come in, not anything negative can come in. Or if it's negative, turn into positive. You can say that, right, when you meditate. And then you just connect those dots, you in the middle, and then have those 4 dots, just create a little bubble around you, and then also say you want it above you. So it's like a little bubble, floating in a bubble. Just picture that you are there, and say that only positive can come into my bubble anywhere I go. And if
And also, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
if you feel a little bit weak, then you can always just go back to mentally to that little spot. You don't have to physically go, and just say, oh, I need to, you know, strengthen my bubble. I have my bubble around me, will protect me. That's how I do.
And also, I know with respect to crystals are so amazing because they will absorb that negative energy. So maybe even looking for a lamp or a beautiful decorative crystal to place in her room, on her nightstand or on her bureau. Um, and she'll just think it's something, a pretty rock. Look at that pretty rock, right? You don't have to get into the whole, because this is what I did with my Nana. I had the amethyst crystal in her room, which is for healing, and I had oh, so important. I had a rose quartz lamp, a beautiful lampshade with this beautiful pink, different shades of the pink, the rose quartz that I had right by her bed on her nightstand, so that the love, because rose quartz attracts love energy, positive energy for the heart. And that literally between the rose quartz and then I had several very small amethyst for healing because she was healing. Of course, she was in a healing phase. And whatever that meant for her, that was her healing space. And I wanted it to progress positively for the whole family.
And maybe and love to that person, right? You can say, oh, you're so mean. Always send love, like I'm sending you love to healing your own journey, whatever it is. And
yes, because what happens is as we continue to send love to that person, it really does change them because love is a more powerful force than being mean. And what happens is that love energy, that love force eventually covers that mean. So even as you go into your mom's space, her room, for example, like I have a rose quartz ring on that I wear, um, you know, to attract love, to emit love. You know, you might want to. This is what my Nana taught me, and this is what I do to this day. There's certain stones that I place in a sock in my bra next to my heart to protect me. So, you know, starting to research some of the crystals that bring love into space, healing into space. Fluorite is another very powerful healing crystal. So if you know, you might have them in your handbag, or if you're bringing her groceries, you know, you might have, you know, something that you're wearing on your person, but also that you can leave in her room to help to promote that. Also, Susanna, how do you feel about the salt lamps?
I have some things, I like them. I just get one for my mom because she got her new place, so she can take mine. So I got her one.
Right.
Like
I have one in each room.
I like it. You just make sure it's a good quality, because sometimes they just not a real one, right? It doesn't have to be expensive, but make sure it's good quality. And I like them. They do bring, they cleanse the room.
Yes.
That's how I feel. Also, if you have a little bit of a waterfall, like a little water element, that keeps the energy flowing. If you feel your house being like, you know, sitting, so that always helps.
Yes. What else did I want? I mean, we could go on and on. Let's see. So, wow, it's almost 10 to 7. So, are there any other words of advice or any tips? Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Let's talk about bringing nature inside. Because, you know, I think sometimes when I'm from New York City, and when I moved, okay, and even, all right, let me say this. I'm from New York.
Or
when,
your
when I moved to Las Vegas, but I grew up in houses, so I've always had backyard space and space. But I know that a lot of times when we come from a huge city where we don't have much space, we're literally on top of each other fighting for space. When we move into a city like a Las Vegas, where the desert energy is so serene, how can we, what type of nature should we bring into our homes to keep that peaceful quality?
well, not everybody good at plants or have a green thumb, right? So there's little succulent that very easy to take care of. Maybe an orchid if you wanna go fancy. I have a bunch of, obviously I'm an earth person, earth element, so I like plants. And I made a mistake joining a plant Facebook group, and they like, oh, I'm selling this, I'm selling that, so now I have to like collect all. But whatever you feel comfortable with. I like exotic plants. I have some from Hawaii and different kind, but that's me, right? Not everybody bringing nature in doesn't always mean plants, because not like my mom just didn't know. Now she understands how to take care of a plant, but before she wasn't. So sometimes you just have to show it how to do it. It doesn't mean you don't love it. So it could be just maybe just colors, not only plants, right? If you go slow, go with a succulent that it's easy to take care of, or just bring in maybe a painting of a plant, or just the natural colors, or maybe just open a door for or window, so let the sunshine in. Actually, the sunshine cleans the bacteria and gives you oxygen, and like the plants too, right? So everything that you can buy in a nursery, they selling it for a reason. They give you oxygen in your room. So I think they're very important. Even if you don't know how to take care of them, then at least for that to cleanse your room, I would suggest that. So just go with natural colors, maybe if you don't know how to do plants, or just get animals like little doggy, or moves around and alive, not just peace and quiet always. Again, not everybody likes that. I get fishes there, so that's kind of nature. If you're water element, depend on what type, who you are, right? If that's what you're gonna like. What are you? Do you know your 5 element? What are you?
My elements personally,
Like the 5 element? Are you earth or fire, metal?
earth, fire, wood, and water.
Are you a mix of all?
Yes.
So maybe look it up which one you are. That would help you with the colors. And even if you notice, there was one book that I read maybe 8 years ago about the 5 elements and how to who we are, right? So find out who you are and what you like. And in that book, this guy says, oh, the red color is the fire people. And we looked around the room who was wearing what color, so you knew it. Like, oh, that's a fire person. And it was so true. And I was in, I think, black, and I'm like, it's true. And since then I changed my mind and I said, I want to be a fire. And I started to wear color clothing.
Yes.
Because
I mean, look, I'm all about color, and color for me really sets my mood, or if I want to shift my mood.
exactly.
Color, it's so powerful. One final question that I want to ask before we end our time this evening. As far as bringing in the positive healing elements, the positive energies, which of your trees of life, which tree of lives, which of your trees of lives would you recommend to bring in the positive, not only the protective healing, but also maybe even to hang in the window space of someone who is ill?
Like
Yeah, which trees of life would you recommend?
um,
'Cause I see some behind you that I'm looking at, but I don't know what would be good.
which one you looking at? Which one's calling you?
That one, the one behind your right hand that you were just pointing at. It's large.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, that's actually a very earthy stone that you're looking at. So you're probably an earthy, but the
Yeah,
one
I'm an earth sun.
I could say that. Again, each stone is different, right? But if you want the ultimate healer is amethyst, is what's basically the master healer stone. Besides anything white, amethyst is one that most people like. It really depends on what specifically you need, because if it's physically ill, then again, all crystals for meant for something, right? Some for blood pressure or bones density, or like could be very, very specific of what you need, like a turquoise, right? Could be for that too. But amethyst is one of the healer, master healer, I would suggest. And some people hang
And
it.
can you hold that one up again? Because that was one that you shared with us earlier. And I'm also trying to find something that I can share with our audience while you're doing that.
Probably the amethyst is what I have the least here. Let me grab one.
Can you see the one that you emailed this one to me? I think this is absolutely gorgeous. How would we use this one?
This one actually, it's a bigger version of this. This doesn't have the real feathers, right? Because some people don't believe in that. I think in India it means lark, the feathers, and in some other country they don't. So it's up to you if you like it or not. But obviously peacock is very elegant, and again, just a bird symbol, just like any other bird, is to bring that freedom, so to speak, right? These birds can fly, but it's the beauty. In this case, when I created this one, it's just the beauty that I tried to go for, and to bring that, emphasize that in the amethyst, to healing the love portion, the self-love, since it's a master healer. But I have other one that has a Buddha face on it, and that's for your higher self, right? When you want to go a little higher in your spiritual life. So I try to put charms on it that balances out of what's the intention I'm trying to create in that tree. So if you need if you need something specific, I rather email me or contact me, and then we can create something instead of explaining all of them, because it's just endless. So what we can do. But amethyst is most, and some people put it in their car, you know, the hanging when they drive. There was one lady who always fall asleep, and so she needed that protection, and we created not amethyst, but it was a clear quartz. And I told her, every time you sit in the car, talk to that tree and say, I'm gonna make it to where I go. I'm not gonna be tired. I'm not gonna have my mind going somewhere else. I need to focus on driving. So it's really depend on what's the case.
These are gorgeous, Susanna. These are beautiful. Just for my own personal interest, the one that I'm pointing to, can you tell which one I'm pointing? It's the green crystal.
Next one. Can you see?
The one on the, is it the same one that I'm pointing to on the picture here?
What picture? I only see the amethyst one.
Oh, okay, hold on.
This one?
Okay, I like that one, but that's not the one I was okay, hold on. Let me get it together again. Let me try this again. What do you see now? Do you see?
I see
okay. The green, this green here.
that one. Okay, that's actually malachite.
Oh.
And I don't think I have that. I don't think I have that here on my wall, but it's that's the Buddha I'm talking, and malachite with it. So malachite and green is for the heart, And with that, in that tree, I wanted to bring what's in your heart, right, to the higher level, because the Buddha it does that. So that was the intention in that tree. And the gold, because it's on a gold wire and a gold ring, it's just very Asian symbolism for prosperity and luck. So that was the case in that one. But it's malachite.
And malachite is also a good crystal to bring into a sick or infirmed person's space, bedroom space, because that helps them to open their heart. And it's so important to have an open heart when you're healing and also when you're communicating with others who are helping you. So this, I mean, it's all of these are gorgeous. Like I want one in every window, but I'm not going to be greedy. But tell us, please, once again, how we can, where we can find these beautiful designs that you
You
have.
can see the name Touched by Reiki on the screen. You just go on Etsy and look up that store, and that's where all what I have at home listed, or you can message me there and you can see what kind of stone I use or what kind of style or charms or anything I need to make for you. We can always create one. So, but that's the easiest to see on Touched by Reiki on Etsy.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So, final words for this evening, my dear. What do you have? Final wisdom, your wow, your words of wisdom for us this evening.
Okay. Well, I recommend to do a journal every day if you can, because that helps you maybe go back what you changed or what you not, and learn how to meditate on your own way. That helps you if that's what you want to grow in spiritually, right? We're talking about that, or are you talking bring positive? Just learn who you are, right? Find out who you are, what you like. Nothing else matters, because that's what's gonna make you happy when you walk into your home. "Ah, I'm home," or is it like, "Oh my God, not again," right? Do I have to do laundry? Think it like, "Oh, I'm gonna make laundry and it's gonna smell nice and I'm gonna have a nice clothes to wear." So change your mind shift there a bit. But the most is like learn who you are and then just do it. Like life is too short, seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
You travel, go travel. If you wanna learn a language, learn a language. Or if you wanna go to a party, go. If you don't, then don't, right? You can say no. It's okay. It's not a big deal, right? And learn also the other person, where they come from. Don't be offensive right away. Just learn who they are.
All right. So that, my dear, thank you so much for
You
spending this time with us. We've learned so much, not only about bringing positive energy into our space, but also hopefully bringing more light and lightness and joy into our being. And with that, thank you, Zsuzsanna Reinhard. I am Dr. Monica Bickerstaff Riley, president of Women of Global Change Las Vegas chapter. As we transition from this month, which is April, we are moving into Magnificent May. And May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. So the fireside chats that we are developing for May include grief healing through art therapy, also looking at ways, AAA to save the day, what type of active action can we take to bring more positive into our mental healing, into our mental space. Um, let's see, I'm seeing catching a chat. Oh, thank you, Susanna. I will be getting in touch with you. That is from that is from our dear Elisa. Yes, I will be getting in touch with you too. Oh, and one more thing before we leave. Do you ship internationally?
I do.
Okay, perfect. I know other sisters who will be tuning in will be wanting to get in touch with you as well. Thank you, Susanna, for joining us this evening. And please come back. We want to have you back again.
Much more to talk, and I didn't know what we're gonna do, so just like 10 million miles of questions and everything. We can always go very specific on one subject and more in detail. And for now, it just what I do. If I don't know anything, I go and look it up and I learn it.
Yes.
That's all I can do, you know. So, but next time we can do something specific. I would love to.
Absolutely. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear. And on that note, I am ending the recording